make sure that it gets done, and you, inshallah, you get to see it. And that's a means of da'wah, a means of khair. You feed in a Muslim. For argument's sake, it's just a Muslim if it wasn't a non-Muslim. You feed in a person, you doing it yourself with your own two hands. And the best of deeds are the deeds that are done with a man's what? Own two hands. Is this not the case? The old school, right, Sheikh? The best thing to do with your own hands, right? You feel the satisfaction of your work. Fadl, Sheikh.
Always I send money to Pakistan as a fidya.
It's lawful.
It's good.
Yes, it's permissible as long as you make sure that you tell them that it's for fidya.
I send to somebody and advise him.
That's trustworthy. Yes, that's fine. It's not haram to do that. Hamza.
Barakallahu feek, ya Sheikh.
Fikum barak.
Can you not fast or break your fast by purpose and do the fidya and fast again because
You intentionally broke your fast? Tayyib. The ruling, the one who intentionally breaks his fast without an excuse, without a reason, is a major sin, for sure. It's a major sin. We've explained this in 40 Hadith on fasting in Ramadan, volume 2. It's a chapter. Excuse me? Well, of course. And we've also explained that in 40 Hadith on fasting in Ramadan, volume 2, is that he who does voluntary fast is in charge of himself. You can break the fast whenever you want to. It's not obligatory. But we're only talking about the fard, not Ramadan, Nafis. Your cup is very full, very full. It's overfilling with rubbish, useless stuff. Empty it. A fasting outside of Ramadan could also be what? Obligatory, such as whack, another, etc. Al-Muhim, you intentionally broke your fard fast without a reason, without an excuse. Number one, it's a major sin. Number two, some scholars say that you have to make up the day. And some may even say that you have to pay a fidya. You have to make tawbah. Some scholars, they say that you do not have to make up the fast, whereas Allah would never accept it from you. It's a punishment. You violated that day, it's of no benefit trying to make it up. It will never be accepted from you. It was disrespectful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the only thing that you do is make tawbah. Wallahu alam. From Allah. Fadl Shaykh.
مثلا واحد يوتر بواحد ويوتر بثلاثة مثلا الثلاثة كلها لا يجلس في واحد
بلا تسليم. تسليم واحد يعني. على طبعا. يعني.
ممكن تبين للناس.
طيب. What's the ruling on making witr with just one taslim? What's the ruling on making witr 3 rak'ah, 5 rak'ah, 7 rak'ah, and only making one taslim in the end? At the end of the day, there's room in this issue. It isn't a strict, stringent, rigid thing. There's room in this issue. Some scholars say that it's lawful for you to make more than one taslim, and others they say that you should do it just in the end. That way the rak'at remain odd. Because if you make 3 and you make salam after 2, as if those 2 are even, right? However, the Prophet ﷺ says, Salat al-layli mathna mathna. The night prayer is to come in pairs. Mathna mathna. Any prayer that a person makes at night should be in pairs. And obviously if it's in pairs, then it's going to be 2 with a taslim. But there's room in the matter. And of course, as we've explained, there are different styles of performing witr. There are different styles of performing witr. All right? As long as those styles are within the boundaries of the sunnah, khairan. What's best? To make 3 together or 2 in 1? The night prayer is mathna, mathna. Wallahu ta'ala alam. From Allah Nafis.
Initials R.A. from London. What is the correct explanation of Hadith Thaqalain? Thaqalain?
Please explain exactly what you mean.
This is A.Q. Ontario, Canada. Is it simple to go against my insurance policy/agreement and do deliveries of my vehicle?
Is it impermissible to go against your insurance policy and do deliveries with your vehicle? Alaikum salam. Well, if you want a rigid ruling, you have to stick to your agreement, whatever that agreement may be. This vehicle isn't to be used except for 1, 2, 3 purposes that are listed and covered. As far as the customs of the people, that which is on paper, the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. It's well known, such and such, such and such. It's okay as long as you don't abuse it too much. Wallahu alam.
So the thing I said earlier about the tabri, that would be considered what you just explained about how Sahih Bukhari, Imam Bukhari, he just mentions, or is it different?
Of Tabari.
This I got. I didn't get the from the book.
Nah, this is just a summary, that's all. This is just a summary. Yeah, this is just a summary. But Tabari mentions full chains. That's just somebody clipping it, sharing it. Afwan. Jazakallah khairan. Abu Ibrahim, ayakallah. Khalid. Assalamu rahmatullah. A person should avoid standing and walking eating if possible. It's the best thing to do. Is it haram? Didn't say that. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Obviously, that's in extreme condensed brevity. Fadl. Hamza.
What's the ruling of masajids doing qiyamul layl after tahajjud at 3 o'clock every single Saturday and making it in every single Ramadan in that order?
Next question. Ahmed. Yes, it can. Fadl.
Initials RA from London. I mean the Prophet saying, hold on to the Quran and Ahlul Bayt. What is the correct explanation?
The Prophet ﷺ, there's no doubt, he gave advice regarding Ahlul Bayt, respecting them, loving them, giving them their rights, the specific rulings that pertain to Ahlul Bayt. No doubt about that. So, inni tarikum fikum, if that's what you mean, thaqalain, kitabullahi, okay, the book of Allah and Ahlul Bayti, udhakirukum Ahlul Bayti, all right? If that's what you mean by that hadith, thaqalain, it's clear. Respect Ahlul Bayt. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Ahlul Hadith, we're balanced. We don't curse Ahlul Bayt, we don't revile them, disrespect them, nor do we worship them and call upon them, invoke them. And nor do we put them above the status that Allah gave them and that the Messenger of Allah gave them. It's literally that simple. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Initials AA from Canada. Is there any
Next question.
Initials KA from Minneapolis, Minnesota. How can a woman attain the rewards of Laylatul Qadr if she's on her menses? She can't fast or pray. How can she make the most out of the last 10 days?
Fikum barakallah. A sister who's on her menstruation, how can she make the most of Laylatul Qadr in the last 10 nights? Obviously, she can't. Jazakallah khairan. She can't pray. She can't stand. Let her make dua, and let her assist the people who are praying and standing. The imam, the brothers in the masjid. She can donate to them food, drinks, tea, water. There's so many different things that you can do. It's like an army, right? Everyone isn't on the front line fighting, bleeding. But the army needs to be fed. They need to be nourished. Their wounded need to be treated. There are a million things that the soldiers who are physically fighting need to physically fight. And the people who aren't physically fighting, their role is no less significant than the people who are physically fighting. And without the logistics and without the administration, those physical soldiers wouldn't be able to physically what? To fight. So that would be my advice, to make dua, give sadaqah, and help out the people who are praying, who are fasting, or who are doing the itikaf and the things in the masjid. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Initials AA from London. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can you please show us some of the key differences between self-respect and arrogance, also when it comes to being a seeker of knowledge? Jazakallah khair.
Wa iyyakum. Barakallahu fikum. What are some of the key points between self-respect and arrogance? Well, of course, the line is going to be thin, and it's going to be a subjective line. Many people, many Muslims, they abuse other Muslims based off of their opinions. You're arrogant. Humble yourself. You're arrogant because I said so. Who gave you the key to my soul? Who told you that you're in charge of my arrogance or my humility? And who said that this act or this statement or taking this or be quiet is me being humble? Whose interpretation are we using? So that's very dangerous. So whenever we monopolize and abuse these things and point the finger at other Muslims, we have lost the battle. أنت متكبر, أنت متشدد, أنت كذا, أنت كذا. When your finger is pointed out, something is wrong. That's first and foremost. Secondly, it's clear. Self-respect. I'm not going to beg you for something because I have self-respect. You may call it pride. You're too proud to ask. Call it what you want. I'm not going to beg, as an example. But once again, that's potato. One man's self-respect is another man's pride. One man's dignity. You're not going to disrespect me and call me the way that you called me, by my first name. Don't speak with me like that. I'm an imam of the masjid. Have respect. You wouldn't call any other imam of the masjid by his first name. Would you? If he was older, if he was Arab, if he's of another race, why are you disrespecting me? But if I said that, somebody say, Mufti, you're being... So, yani, you got to get in where you fit in. Wallahu a'lam. Don't forget Umar. So if I check somebody, I'm not going to be what? Okay, inshallah. Even if it's a harsh check, a chin check. Tahir. Khair, inshallah. It's time for the adhan. Are we time? 2 minutes. Fadal. Anything else? Wayne Shahi Hamza. Shahi Halib.
This was AA from Canada, Vancouver. Is there any disobedience to parents if they try to stop me from following the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, for example, wearing a thobe in the West everywhere? Jazakallah khair.
Wa yakum. In brief, if your parents need you or want you to do something, you put down the sunnah act. If your parents need you, like Juraj, the extra prayers, his mother called out to him. As far as if your parents don't want you to excel spiritually because of their own weakness or dunya worship, then try your best to explain to them. But at the same time, do not listen to them getting you to be a weaker Muslim when you're striving for spiritual excellence with gentleness and with respect. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Subhanallah wa hamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept all of your fasts, your prayers, your charity, the people who feed. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla make this month a means of blessing for each and every one of you.